What is wrong with me? Why don't I use these? Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video we have no new makeup, no new launches, nothing new to show you. Why? Because every so often I get overwhelmed by new makeup launches. I get fatigue, and if I get fatigue, I can't imagine how you are feeling. So I have this little series where I go back into my makeup collection and I pull out products that I used to love, but for some reason I don't use them anymore. And today is all about trying to figure out what my problem is. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. My eyebrows are already done. I don't have any old brow things that I used to use, really, that I don't use anymore. I'm a bit strange when it comes to eyebrows, to be honest. I stick to what I like and that's it. I don't really branch out at all. And I have already prepped my skin with these two, the Bioma Hydrating Milky Toner and this Release Moisturizer. So we are going to start with what I would call a glow booster. And I used to use glow boosters all the time. This is from Saie. This is the Glowy Super Gel, and this is in the shade Warm Glow. Yeah, it basically just gives you a really subtle glow underneath your makeup. I haven't used it in absolutely ages, and I think I can explain that. My skin hasn't been great. I'd say the back end of 2025, my skin was really bad, and it's definitely improved, my rosacea, but I've been scared to use anything that's been, well, basically like an all over highlighter. It wasn't something that I wanted to put on my face, but I'm willing to give it a little whirl today. So that's the shade Warm Glow. And this is a great product for dry skin. It's just been sat in a drawer. Yeah, just sat in a drawer, not being used. And I really did rave about this when I first used it, not bringing it under my eye. Oh no, we don't need to highlight them. Nope. And you can see there, it's very subtle, isn't it? But I've just been so terrified. As you know, if you've been with me for a while, I haven't been using anything like highlighters, things like that. And it's just because of the state of my skin. So I can explain this one, okay? It's not because I just fell out of love with it. It's because it just wasn't suiting my skin at the time. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. You know, skin changes pretty much on a daily basis. Well, mine does anyway. There you go. It's not too super glowy, is it? Just really nice. And it hasn't emphasized anything that I don't want it to emphasize. Really nice. I need to start using that more, especially as we're coming through to the spring and summer for sure. So on the eyes today, there was one product that really jumped out to me, and there was a reason for this, and it's because people have been talking to me about the brand a lot recently, and then I'd realized that I haven't really been using the products that I paid for that were really expensive, and it's from Victoria Beckham. Today we are using a mixture of luxury, high-end, drugstore. So this is one of the Victoria Beckham Lid Lustre eyeshadows, and I haven't really been using this at all. And if I go back to my original review of this when I tried VB Beauty for the first time, I thought this was really nice, but it wasn't my favourite, and it's never been my favourite. And this cost me €44. I know, right? I could get a whole eyeshadow palette for €44. I could get 2 eyeshadow palettes. I could get, oh, I can't really do the maths very quickly, but I could get several Catrice eyeshadow palettes for €44. I'm not good at maths. I'm not even going to pretend to try and work that out. This is the shade Honey. It looks like it's gone a little bit hard pan, doesn't it? Not even used it. Now, I remember it being really nice, but unremarkable, really. That's the shade Honey. And these are kind of they have a metallic-y finish. There is some glitter through there. Yeah, I'm going to have my Morphe M303 on hand if I need help packing it on. Just because when you've got nails, it's a little bit tricky. So we are doing the eyes first. Try and get it off my nail there. So I haven't prepped my eyes because you don't really need to. I remember that. Yeah. It's basic, innit? Really. I know why I've not been using it. Yeah, because I can get better at the drugstore. There, I said it. Look, if you like If you like your one pot shadows to have luxury packaging and be like pretty in that sense, I think luxury makeup is the whole package. It's not just about the product, is it? If you speak to anybody that only buys luxury, they say that they want the gorgeous packaging. It's all about how it makes them feel, and I completely relate. And you know what? The VB packaging is some of my absolute favourite. It really is. But I'm not wearing the packaging. I think if I'd have got a different shade, maybe, I think that's the problem. But this is me. This is a me shade. It's pretty basic, but there's just nothing about the feeling of the formula that feels particularly exciting to me. That's it. It's kind of a nice champagne-y colour, isn't it? And it's fine. The fact is that I just have better at the drugstore that I use, that are more impactful, that feel nicer, that feel more high quality, if I'm completely honest with you. Yes, you can't really beat the packaging, but again, not wearing the packaging. Okay, I was going through my eyeliners, and I don't wear eyeliner a whole lot, but there was one that I used to really love, and I don't think I've ever spoken about it. It's this one from Inglot. This is the Kohl pencil. What happened to Inglot? I don't have a clue. Inglot used to be really big in the UK and Ireland. Oh, I just Googled. Inglot Ireland permanently closed all its standalone physical stores in 2020 due to the economic impact of the COVID-19. That is really, really sad. I was having a look online on where you can buy Inglot, and not that many places, to be honest. Anyway, I really liked this. This is in the shade 03. That's 03, and it's just a really dark brown. Really like a dark brown for eyeliner. I'm only going to apply a little bit of this just to the outer corner, and I'm going to use my Morphe M382 to help me out. I'm just going to use a little bit here. This is so creamy. And that's what you want from a Kohl pencil. No, that took a second. That is so nice. I'm just going to use a little bit on the lash line. I didn't really use a whole lot else from the brand, so it was really eyeliners. They did eyeliners so well. Now I'm going to take my brush into that because it is soft enough to dip into. I'm just going to bring it under the lash line a bit. Can't believe how easily these blend. I really, really enjoy that eyeliner. I think the issue here with me is that I stopped wearing eyeliner. I seem to just swap and change the type of products that I use all the time. Do you do that? Or is it just me? That is a real shame. They were a great brand. Aw, that's made me a little bit sad now. Okay, so moving on to mascara. And look, you have to be really careful with mascaras because even when I was going through my drawer yesterday, I was like, okay, that's expired. That's expired. Don't leave them sat in a drawer. Use them, please. But there was one mascara that I saw in my drawer that I literally was raving about last year. And I don't have a clue why I haven't been using it. And I realised that I didn't even include it in my 2025 favourites, and I really loved it. It's the Maybelline Colossal Bubble Mascara. Really loved this. I thought it was absolutely excellent. And I just think other mascaras came along, and isn't that the problem? Other makeup comes along, and then I forget. I just forget. I've had quite a bit of fallout from that eyeshadow, by the way. Yeah, it's literally everywhere. That's how it's looking. And I can't remember it collecting that much product. So I'm going to wipe it off. I've wiped off all that excess. Oh, I really did like this. I hope it's still going to function properly for me today. It's feeling very wet, and I'm surprised at that. So I'm going to wipe off more. Don't be afraid to really wipe off your brush. And I remember I abandoned every single mascara I had for this mascara. I loved it. It's definitely more of a dramatic mascara for sure. Yeah, so that's one coat. Right, let me match up these eyes because you don't want to watch me do that, do you? No, it's so boring. Okay, so just being honest, on this side, it definitely felt like it was getting a little bit clumpy. And I think it's because it's on its last legs. Drugstore mascaras, high-end mascaras, they do not have a long shelf life. So this one It's almost too volumized. This is extremely volumizing, this mascara. And I think that if you didn't wipe off the excess, look, I had to wipe off all that excess. If I hadn't done, could you imagine how it would look? But oh my gosh, for drama, this is so, so good. I shouldn't have abandoned it for so long, but it's simply because new ones came along and I am fickle. That's it. So we are going in with this, the Catrice Under Eye Brightener, the Instant Awake. I haven't used this in such a long time, and I think I know why. It's because I have this in 2 shades actually, by the way. I have this and I have more of a peachy shade. I'm going in with this shade because I actually really liked the brightening in it. And you can see I've not used a lot of it because honestly, I was using my Morphe colour corrector. That has been my holy grail. And I haven't wanted to use anything else, but I'm going to take a little bit of this on the finger. So you can see the shade there. And I'm just going to pop a little bit here because the concealer that we're using today is not brightening. It's actually the wrong shade for me, and I'll explain to you about that in a second. But this is just going to brighten that inner corner a little bit, and it will hopefully work well with the concealer. On its own, I couldn't just go out like this because it's too bright. Oh, I've got it everywhere. So I'm just going to tap a little bit of this in. And I know people swear by this, and it is lovely, wears lovely as far as I can remember, but I just don't use it. So wanted to give it a little bit of a run out today. And do you know what? I'm going to bring some in the inner corner. This is just an old Morphe brush. It looks like this. I'm just going to bring it here just to brighten up that area. That is really good. I always knew it was really good anyway, and you know, it only cost a few quid too. But I wanted to use that, and I wanted to give it another whirl today because the concealer that we're going to use now, it is not the right shade for me. And here's the thing. It's because my skin tone has changed so much over the last year. Now, not my undertone hasn't, and the fact that I'm a light to medium skin tone. It's just that I am on the lighter end of the spectrum now because I avoid the sun. I avoid the sun completely, and that's because of hyperpigmentation, rosacea. It really does trigger me, and I avoid it. So that's why this concealer doesn't suit me and why it's more of my skin tone now. In fact, it's probably darker than my skin tone. So this concealer was actually a conscious choice to choose simply because the brand have recently brought out a new concealer and I don't particularly love it, but this concealer used to be my holy grail and I completely stopped using it because 7 trillion other concealers came along. I know, it's ridiculous. It's this one from Tilbury. This is the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. And I remember going back to the start of my channel, I used to talk about this all the time. And I feel a little bit embarrassed actually that I haven't been using it and that I haven't been talking about it because I did for so long. And in my opinion, it's so much better than the new one. This new one, the Airbrushed Flawless Blur Concealer, I still don't get it. It looks good and bad all at the same time. And can I just say, my friend Rhoda at Paint the Face, and I know a lot of you follow her, she actually made me feel seen over this concealer because she had the exact same experience. She actually described it as being gaslit by a concealer. So it's fine. I'm still playing with it. But this was a ride or die to me. This was a holy grail. It was everything to me. So I did have it in 2 shades. It's actually funny that I had such dark shades, but my skin was a lot darker at the time. So at the top we have the shade 6. And at the bottom, we have the shade 8. We're obviously going to go in with 6, but it is still too dark. It's actually too yellow for me. Yeah. I'm going to use my new Morphe concealer, my M131 today. And I'm just going to pop a bit there, a bit there, a bit there. This is incredible. It's such an underrated concealer. Nobody talks about it. And you know, I think I know why. Now, it never really bothered me, but this does have some very, very fine glitter particles in there. And I think that's why people just didn't like it. And you know what? I remember when I first bought this years ago, I didn't notice the glitter until I was in a certain mirror in certain lighting. And I think that's the problem with it, is it looks absolutely fine. And then under certain lighting, artificial lighting mainly, you will see these kind of glittery particles in there, and it's definitely not for everybody, and it's not for me, to be honest. But I would overlook that because of the performance of the concealer. No creasing, completely hydrating, really good coverage. Now my eyes have deteriorated somewhat over the last couple of years, so it's got a lot of more work to do than what it used to. But I did wear this concealer yesterday because I wanted to get a feel for it again, and honestly, it's incredible. It really is. And it's so thin in comparison to the new one. It's thin, it's just silky smooth. I really did think that this new one would be this, but without the glitter. But it's not. It's not. I think this concealer now is on the verge of expiration, if it's not expired already. If I was to recommend any Charlotte Tilbury concealer, again, I do like the new one, but I love that one. The Beautiful Skin Concealer is just where it's at for me. So for foundation, we are going back in with this. This is from The Ordinary Serum Foundation that they re-released last year, was it? I think it was about a year ago. Yes. And this had been discontinued, and then they decided to bring it back, and everybody was really excited. And I'd never tried the original, so I was really excited to try this, and I really did like it. I thought it was beautiful. It's kind of a skin tint. Yeah, that's how I remember it. But I haven't really been using it since. And that's because I didn't have my correct shade, so I had to mix two. Now, they did say that they were bringing this back for a limited time, but it's still there. I checked it out. It's still available. I don't know whether it's available on third-party retailers, but it's definitely available from the Ordinary website. I have the shade 1.2 Light Neutral, and I have the shade 2.1 Yellow. Look at that. That is literally so fluid, isn't it? And that's 2.1 Yellow. So I'm going to use predominantly the lighter shade 1.2, but I'm going to mix in a little bit of the 2.1 Yellow. In my latest video, I tested some affordable makeup brushes, and I was talking about this Morphe one. It's the M242 Cream and Liquid Bronzer brush. See that? And today I'm going to give it a whirl as a foundation brush. I'm not sure the shades are working for me today. Let's mix this in. Yeah, I think we're good, aren't we? No fragrance. This is very skin tinty, and I think, if I remember rightly, that I applied this with my fingers, did I? I don't remember. I think it is best applied with your fingers, if I'm completely honest. And the reason that I'm not doing that today is because I'm covered in glitter from the Victoria Beckham eyeshadow. Okay, so super lightweight coverage, but that's really pretty, isn't it? Super pretty. I like this as a foundation brush. It's really good. Definitely prefer it as a foundation brush than a bronzer brush. One side with, one side without. Also, I'm using a brush to try and get more of an intense kind of coverage. There's no reason why I shouldn't be using this, especially coming up to this time of year when I definitely start to strip back the makeup a little bit when it gets a little bit warmer. I mean, it's not warm yet. Okay, let's not jump the gun. It's not summer yet, but I will be getting ready to, move over to skin tints and lighter complexion products. And this is just perfect for that. Always go back into your drawer and see what's there, honestly. And the reason that I do this is not just because I get annoyed and I get fatigue. It's literally to try and encourage you to go back into what you've got. I mean, look, as I always say, we love that dopamine rush, don't we, when we get new makeup? I mean, there's nothing quite like it. I really feel like we need to take a step back sometimes because we've always got new makeup being shoved down our throats. And believe me, I do as well. And I get so frustrated with it. That's how the foundation is looking. And genuinely, I think it looks really gorgeous. And it's dried down pretty much immediately. So I would call this... Now remember, I did build it up quite a lot. I'm going to say that looks like a satin finish. It really reminds me of the new Armani Luminous Silk reformulation, actually. So yeah, skin's looking really nice, looking really kind of natural, very satiny though, and I like it. It looks really good. And so my choice for bronzer was actually really intentional. I want to go back into this product because I saw some news about the brand, and it's Glossier, that made me feel a little bit sad. So Glossier have laid off approximately 50 of their employees. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't sound good, and I'm really sad about it. I mean, there's talk online about, you know, the downfall of Glossier allegedly, and I would be really sad about that. They used to be a brand that I purchased everything from, and then I didn't. I just stopped. And I don't know why it is. And I think I've spoken about Glossier a few times, and the fact that I just think that they didn't really evolve, did they? You know, they didn't give us anything different. And so, yeah, a little bit sad about that. And I really hope that this isn't going to signal the beginning of the end for them. But anyway, today for bronzer, we're going to be using one of the Glossier Cloud Paint Seamless Cheek colours. And we're going to be using this in the shade Dune or June. And this is a liquid bronzer. So the tube is annoying. I think that's one reason I don't use this. And it's the reason why I never bought the Natasha Denona bronzer, because I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to squeeze out bronzer. I know I'm so lazy, aren't I? So lazy. So again, that's the shade June. I'm going to grab a BK Beauty A507 brush, and I'm just going to tap into that swatch. I'm just going to kind of... That feels so cooling. That blended in a second. Oh, look at that. It's very buildable. You kind of do have to build it up if you want to see it. But that's the thing with Glossier, isn't it? That is their aesthetic. Well, I think it still is. They are very, you know, they're clean girl, you know, no makeup. I don't know if that era is really that much in fashion anymore. I think people are going back to full beat makeup, aren't they? I mean, honestly, I like both. I really do like both. I wear pretty much minimal makeup during the day, but I do like to glam it up on occasion. It's absolutely stunning. As much as Glossier haven't been on my radar, you know, the Glossier Brow Flick, the brow pen, I truly love, but that again has been kind of pipped to the post recently by my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pen. Yeah, I need to use this. It's just finicky. It's finicky having to squeeze it out on your hand, and if you want to build it up, you have to squeeze it out again. And I know I'm lazy, aren't I? I am the laziest, but it's just beautiful for, you know, that natural look. And actually, if I'd have used this last week, this would have been in my dry skin makeup tutorial, because it's so perfect for dry skin. It feels so hydrating. It just sinks in, and it really doesn't look like you're wearing any bronzer. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make more of an effort to use up this product. Hope this isn't the end for them, because I do appreciate the products that they've given us. Yeah. Okay, on the cheeks today, we are going in with a blush from Rare Beauty. This is the Matte Bouncy Blush. No idea why I don't wear it, because this is actually ideal for if you have more textured cheeks. Now, this might be a bit light for me today. I mean, I did review these, absolutely loved them. They have amazing wear time. They're extremely flattering. And for someone like me who doesn't really buy matte blushes, this is just a beautiful product. So for this, I'm going to take my BK Beauty 109 because I feel like it's a great brush for packing on. It's a cream to powder blush, so you kind of need to pack it on. I mean, it's truly effortless. Okay, I put too much on. Oh gosh, what is wrong with me and blush these days? It's okay, we can fix it. we can fix it. And again, if you have more texture on your cheeks and you find that, you know, glowy blushes just aren't doing it for you and they are highlighting the texture that you have on your cheeks, something like this is just perfect. And if you have oilier skin as well, I think you'd really appreciate something like this. But again, I have dry skin and I think it looks really beautiful. This is just so blurring and so pretty. And you know what? It'd be perfect with a super dewy foundation, you know, just to bring that dewiness down a little bit. Gorgeous. Okay, so for highlighter, there's a reason why I picked this one, and it's because I've been talking to one of my lovely viewers, Dana. We have all the chats about all the makeup, and she was telling me that she really loves the Charlotte Tilbury, the beauty ones, and it got me thinking about my beauty ones from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beauty Light wand in the original shade of Pillow Talk. And I didn't used to wear anything else but this. And this is going back to why I wasn't using the Saie gel because of my textured skin. And obviously I still have texture on my skin. Like, that's not going anywhere right now. I remember I used to love this so much. And this is one of my most used highlighters. So that's Pillow Talk. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit on my finger. And I'm going to pop some just here. And just tapping. And these are good because they have a little twisty bit so that you can close it as well. This would actually be a product that I would repurchase because I think this is probably gone now. I hope I don't end up getting breakouts tomorrow because I've had this for quite a long time. I wonder what other shades they have. I really love this. It just melts into the skin. And there's a reason why so many brands have tried to dupe the brand as well when it comes to this. Thank you, Dana. Thank you for bringing up those Beauty Light ones again, because I'd completely forgotten about them. And I mean, you're always going to highlight texture if you put highlighter on there. That's never going to change. But these are minimal and these just blend in with your skin. Just phenomenal. So good. I need some powder under the eyes. So today we're going in with this. This is from Maybelline, the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I've seen that they brought out some new shades of this. So they've brought out a pink one. Now, it's confusing because this was never released in stores here. You could only get it on Amazon from Maybelline, which is so weird. But then I spotted the newer ones on Boots, and as soon as I'd spotted them and was waiting for them to come into stock, they disappeared off the site. What are you doing, Boots? What are you doing? Anyway, I want to go back in with this. Now, I really rate this powder. I think it's really, really good. And at one point, it was definitely the best loose powder at the drugstore. However, I think that Wet n Wild, the soft pink powder, amazing. I think the new L'Oreal Blurfection powder, amazing. Catrice have another amazing loose powder. So I think this is just, yeah, I think they needed to update this. So I'm actually going to use this Morphe brush that I used in my affordable brushes tutorial, and this is the Morphe M164. I usually use a really little powder brush under my eyes, but I've really enjoyed using this. This is in the shade Fairlight. I'm just going to take a little bit under the eyes. I actually really like the application under the eyes that this brush gives me. I feel like it's actually not as intense as my usual brushes. And I kind of like it. I really like this brush. I like this brush a lot. It is a really nice powder, and it was one of the first at the drugstore really that brought us an amazing loose powder like this. And you get a ton of product, which you don't really get these days with loose powders, which is 20 grams. So yeah, it's definitely worth it if you can get your hands on it. It's really, really good. So another powder that I wanted to dive back into is this one from Saie. I raved about this so much when I first got it. This is the Slip Tint Undetectable Baked Setting Powder. I think I was just using the Morphe more, which is the Morphe Cloud Light Veil powder. They are very similar, and I think that's why I stopped using this as much. That's all. I still really think this is a fantastic powder. So I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques. This is the Ultimate Powder Brush. This is in the shade 2, by the way. So I'm just going to swirl into that. Love this brush. Oh my gosh, it's so fantastic. So I'm just going to brush it over the skin. And this gives, it definitely doesn't give a super matte finish. It gives kind of a luminosity to the skin. I remember that I found this to be more of a finishing powder rather than a traditional setting powder. That's just my opinion. You see, it just gives a really nice luminosity to the skin, but it's not too much. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think I just preferred the Morphe. I think that came out at a similar time, or I tried it at a similar time. But that's a beautiful powder. It definitely tones down the shine, but just still maintains the luminosity. And I really like that. Again, definitely more of a finishing powder, in my opinion. More of a hybrid, I guess. Right, let's get some lippy on. I think you all know that one of my favorite brands for lipstick is Revlon. And so I haven't abandoned the Revlon lipsticks, but there was one shade that I've definitely abandoned that I want to go back to, because it's literally just the perfect everyday shade. And it's this. It's called Daylight Delight. Here it is. And I had forgotten about this. I'd used it a few times. And then, yeah, it just got lost within all of my lipsticks, which, look, it happens. So this is 802 Daylight Delight, and that's what I want to wear today. So I do have a lip liner, but I want to pop this on without the lip liner so you can see what it looks like. So I spoke about these specific lipsticks in my dry skin video, where I gave you suggestions in every category for dry skin, and I gave you this recommendation for dry lips. Incredible. You could blind test lipsticks. You could blind test this against a $40 lipstick, and you would definitely not know the difference at all. There's no weird smell from these. They are beautifully hydrating. They are pigmented and opaque. No emphasis of the lip lines. Absolutely stunning in every single way. They really, really are. So if you have a bunch of Revlon lipsticks in your drawer, go and pull them out and have a look at the shades that you've been abandoning. For me, 802 Daylight Delight needs to go in my handbag now. Yeah, it does. It's absolutely stunning. So the lip liner I chose was actually interesting because it's actually a lip liner that is with a lipstick. So it's a 2-in-1. And this is one of my favorite drugstore lipsticks. This is the Catrice Lip Artist Matte Lipstick and Liner. But here's the thing. I don't always want to wear this lipstick, but the lip liner is the most perfect shade. And so I never think to pick it up on its own. I know. What is wrong with my brain? Is that not just perfection? Just in every way. That is just the perfect shade that would go with any nude lipstick. Every single time I do one of these videos, I end up just sitting here and thinking, what is wrong with me? Why don't I use these? And as we've been through, there's loads of different reasons why I haven't been picking up these products, but there's no reason why I shouldn't be. I think the only thing that's not really impressed me today is the Victoria Beckham eyeshadow. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it should be more than fine, really, for €44, shouldn't it? All of this stuff in here I will be using. Please do this. Please go through your stuff. There's lots of reasons, as I said, why I do this video, and part of it is definitely me holding up my hands and saying, I do contribute to overconsumption, and I'm really sorry if I make you feel overwhelmed and if I make you feel like you're missing out on things, because that's never my intention. I didn't start this channel to buy excessive amounts of makeup. I started this channel, lots of reasons, but one of the reasons is because I'm so passionate about makeup and because I love it so much. And I've always been someone who's bought a lot of makeup. But it's really important for me to always acknowledge that I do contribute to the problem, and that if you are on a no-buy, that I hear you, that I see you, and that I really want to be able to make you feel like you are still included here on my channel in this space, because this channel is not just about buying makeup. Never has been, and it never will be. I'm never going to be that person who rams things down your throat, who makes you think that you're missing out. I just buy stuff that I want to buy and share it. And I really hope that these videos are appreciated in that sense, that I get it. I get that it's just too much. And if you take anything away from today, is to go through your drawers. Go on, go through them, because I can guarantee you will find stuff in your drawers that you forgot about, that you loved, and that when you put it on your face, you will genuinely feel like you are putting a brand new product on your face. It feels so good. Everything I've used today, I have absolutely adored, and I will be using again. So do go away, have a look in your collection and come back and let me know, what did you forget about? What holy grail did you love but you never pick up, and why was it? Why did you abandon it? And will you be picking them up again? Let us know everything in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.